Thank you to everybody for coming out. Really appreciate all the turnout. Myself, along with a lot of the fighters up here, work really hard, you know, day in and day out to put on the show.
TMB Promotions and New Blood going down this Saturday night, March 12th at the Stoplight Temple in downtown Alamo City. We hope everyone can join us. Once again, we want a sellout. It's going to be televised all over the country. There are Next Level Sports Entertainment and Direct TV.
You know along the real bad man.
Hey, Honcho, look. Hey, hey. I got a habit of saving ungrateful niggas, had to regain all my inner peace. Now let's not act like I ain't take care of you niggas. Shit, it's time that I took care of me. Look, pressure, pressure, pressure. Heard a lot, but I ain't see it. Last week I took a trip to Colorado just to ski. Honcho, now they wanna be it. All my features undefeated. Made your big homie delete it, nigga.
Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Bad man pull up, hey, bad man pull up, hey.
Bad man forward.
I hear my loyalty in question. Oh my damn, I think I need to roll another.
Bad man forward.
House building every day, we swim through to make a way. Promise my niggas we ain't going under.
So OJ is my firstborn son. So I had him, his mother had him when we were 18, really young parents. So we've kind of all grown up together at the same time. Honestly, we were learning a lot at the time. So I was still young when we had him. So we're really, really close in that way. I've grown and he's grown also at the same time. It's interesting, our parallels. So we're really close actually. We talk about anything and everything. So yeah, really close relationship with my boy.
OJ is my firstborn, the eldest of three. He is what I like to call my right-hand man. Him being the oldest of the three has been a father figure to his younger siblings and is very good at it. As well as when I say right-hand man, because, you know, I tend to get heated pretty fast, and he has always been the one that I go to when, you know, I need that second opinion, make me think straight and level-headed, and he's just so humble that he's usually the one to be able to calm me down and think, you know, on another level.
He's like, hey, you said it, not me.
He's my oldest brother, you know, big bro, that's big bro.
There you go. You got it. Just focus on your target. There you go.
OJ's my older brother. He's someone I looked up to growing up. More of a father figure. My dad moved out of state when I was young. He wasn't physically there for me, but he was there for me. Yeah, I mean, OJ just paved the way for us.
There you go. What do you get? It's that shoulder. It's that shoulder.
He's my older brother, and we grew up together. I used to beat him up when I was little. I used to punk him when I was little.
Right here. I want that right. I'm standing right here. Bring your armpit right to the land. Relax. Right there. Right here. See that? Hips. Boom. Get off your shoulder. Hips. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Right there. That's it again. There you go. See? Reaching. Give a fuck how tall you are. That don't mean shit. Come get it. There you go. Come get it. Good. Come get it. There you go.
So OJ is my oldest brother, and growing up he really stepped up as the father figure, and I know that he's someone that I can rely on and call in the middle of the night. Aside from my mom, I know that I can call him and he'll pick up the phone.
Unless he's at the gym.
Yeah, unless he's at the gym, and talk to him. Recently, our grandma had passed away, and at the time I was at school. I came home for a little bit over the summer, then I went back to school, and I was just going through a really hard time up there. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, which a lot of people don't know, because I just choose not to share that part of myself because it's really hard to talk about. And after one time I called OJ at night, I was just telling them like how my day was going, what I was going through and everything. And he stayed on the phone with me for quite a while and just talked me through everything, helped me see the brighter side of things. And I remember this semester I came home because I needed to come home for a while, but right before I left I was in between. I don't know if I want to stay here, but I know I need my family. And I probably called OJ at 12:30 in the middle of the night, just talking to him, and like I said, he picked up the phone with no hesitation and stayed on the phone with me as long as I needed and gave me the advice that I needed. So I honestly truly appreciate him for that, because I know that like even though I have my mom and my other brother, like if I do need like more support and someone who's kind of gone through the same things that I'm going through, that I can definitely rely on him for those.
There you go. There you go. Going straight. Going down. Okay, go straight at it. Boom.
So got into the first fight in September. Like I said, I got a 4-round unanimous decision. And a lot of people, they weren't upset with the outcome, but didn't feel that I deserved it, which fueled the fire into my second fight, going in against Joshua Romero, who was a heavier guy. He didn't want to lose weight. He wanted to go in at a heavier weight class. So I was like, okay, let's just do it. I don't care. You tell me how much, not even how much. You tell me where and when, and I'll sign the dotted line. I'll be there. So signed the dotted line, went out, knocked his ass out 59 seconds. So going into this fight, leading that into this fight, I had it rough at first, you know, because you start out at the gym and you got to kind of earn your keep. It's like any sport. You got to start at the bottom and work your way to be that top dog in the gym. And even to this day, like there's dudes who outwork me, but I know in my heart, like what all I've gone through. I know everything that I've had to overcome. Like there's nobody that I fear in this sport. So it's just crazy to start from literally the worst state of my life and to like eventually be now.
So back when OJ was 10, he was diagnosed with a terminal lung condition called cystic fibrosis, also known as 65 roses, hence the roses on his last shirt that was made. we were devastated when we found out. We knew that we were faced with many hurdles and obstacles, long roads ahead of us, you know, faced with hospitalizations, daily treatment. You know, the life expectancy at that time when he was diagnosed was 25. So given that OJ is now 28, you can see he's already met, you know, he's exceeded that goal. Glory be to God for that.
It really has been a long road. It was one of those, you know, from the diagnosis, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how things were gonna, you know, you never know how things are gonna turn out when you get news like cystic fibrosis. As a terminal illness, it's one of those things you just don't know how things are gonna, how they're gonna play out, what God has in store. So it has been a long road, and it's one of those roads that he's actually decided to take on and run with, and it's really good to see him blossom and take his health really seriously and reach the goals that he's decided to set for himself. So yeah.
OJ is my grandson. He is the third out of 11 grandchildren. Relationship, I don't know, it's hard to tell because when he was little, I can't remember how young he was. He was out playing. We lived in Tucson, Arizona at the time, and our son Steven had a little basketball. It was a little tyke, I think it was, and he was shooting the ball. He was playing basketball. He goes, look, Nana, and he pretends like he's dunking the ball. And I says, oh, go, baby. I says, and at the time he was doing that, they were playing that song from, what was it? I think it was Space Jam. Was it Space Jam? I Believe I Can Fly. And I'm going like, go, OJ, you can fly, OJ, you can fly. And then after that, I believe that was when I found out that he had an illness with cystic fibrosis. And so now every time I hear that song, my eyes, they fill up. When he first told me about boxing, I myself don't particularly care for boxing or anything that I can see two people knocking their sense out, you know, just boxing and boxing. Then you see blood, and I just don't really care for it. But like any of grandchildren or great-grandchildren, which we've got 4, 1 on the way, if that's what he wants to do, I'm behind him 100%. I'm behind him 100%, as with all of them.
Yeah, man, so each fight I dedicate to something. So the first fight that I had, I fought Adam Salazar, and I wore the colors white and gold. Most people wouldn't know, but one of my brothers, he was a family friend, but he was a young cat that I really gravitated to growing up. He had a really, really tough life. His name was Jason Salas. He fell victim to overdose of heroin and ketamine. So I got to see somebody that I really, really love be affected by drugs. And a lot of the drugs that he was introduced to weren't with me, but it was just being around the party scene and just, you know, meeting the wrong people. So Jason passed away March 24th of 2019. No, I'm sorry, March 24th of 2020 is when he passed away. And then my grandmother, also from my stepdad's side of the family, who basically raised me and my younger siblings up until, you know, we were in high school. She ended up passing away March 25th. So one day later, exactly 1 year apart. So that was like my biggest drive. So anybody who's like known that fight, my motto was remember why. Because there was a time where like I wanted to give up. Like the guys at the gym were torturing me. Like they were not taking it easy by any means. Like, okay, you want to be a pro? Like we're gonna treat you like one. So like they would lay it on me. So going into that fight, I dedicated it like remember why. And anytime I was tired, anytime I didn't want to work out, anytime that I wanted to give up, remember why you're doing it. You know what I mean? Remember why you're at this point. Remember why, like, you have this drive in you, like this ballsy, like, no fear mentality. Remember why. It's those two people, right? So that was the first fight. And it's so crazy to say that, because in the ring I could see them sitting front row. There was nobody even allowed in the tech zone. And I remember there being 2 vacant seats. You can go back and look at the video. There's 2 vacant seats in the tech zone. And I vividly remember catching a punch. And, you know, I catch a punch and I kind of like turn over the ropes. And I see both of them sitting there. Like, just, they look as happy as ever because I was winning the fight, right? And, like I said, I just wanted to use them as my motivation, and that was like my way of seeing that they were there with me. My second fight, I ended up dedicating to cystic fibrosis. For the little kids who can't say it, they call it 65 roses. It makes it a little easier for them to understand how to say what it is that they're dealing with. So the rose is the symbol of cystic fibrosis. So I did all red trunks with white trim. My fight shirts were 3 pictures of myself with roses all around myself. So I dedicated that to cystic fibrosis, and throughout the whole training camp, I just remembered, like, there's kids who have it way worse than I do that wish that they could be in my position, you know what I mean? So I just really use that as motivation to kind of get through those next steps. This fight coming up, my mom's mother, so my grandmother on my mom's side, she back in 2000, I believe it was 2011, she ended up being diagnosed with breast cancer. She ended up surviving. She ended up beating cancer. Later on in life, just about a year ago, she ended up finding out that she had kidney disease as well. My uncle, God bless his soul, donated his kidney to my grandmother to make sure that, you know, she would be able to extend her life. It's not a cure, but overall extends her time here on earth. So he ended up donating his kidney. And so the colors of my fight trunks are gonna be lime green and pink. And of course she loves bling, she loves anything sparkly, so I threw in a little bit of silver there. So hopefully everything looks the way that I know that she would want it to look. She'll never go to a fight. She'll never go see me willingly get punched in the mouth, but I know that she'll be there in spirit. So.
Wow, bro, you can't order some new trunks? Yeah, shout out CS Designs.
I feel overjoyed, honored. I thank him. Hopefully he goes out there and kicks butt, and if not, I'm still proud of him. Still proud of him. I wish I could attend in person, but I am post-kidney transplant still. It's over a year, but I avoid crowds for my safety. If not, I would be there from the very first fight. I feel overjoyed, just as long as he does what he enjoys. And either way, it's not gonna change anyway how I feel about him, how honored I am to be his grandmother, how honored he is to dedicate the fight to me. I love him, love him.
How much were those waters? How much were they? 50. $2.50 for a fucking water?
$5 right now.
two undefeated fighters, both putting it on the line early in their career. What more can you ask for? Neither of them backed down, neither of them hesitated. They both signed a contract, they're willing to fight each other, and I'm super excited to see what happens in this fight between Jesse, Pretty Boy, and Azondo, who is 2-0, as well as OJ Harwell, who's also 2-0. Jesse Azondo, who trains under the tutelage of Mr. Alex Rios, Rios Boxing, another San Antonio legend. Big round of applause for Alex Rios. Oh yeah, Alex. Big round of applause for Alex. He has a tough fight in front of him with OJ. He knows that. Alex knows that. I'm sure they're very prepared. With that being said, I'd like to bring him with an undefeated record, Mr. Jesse, Pretty Boy, and Azondo.
I know.
I want to thank y'all for coming out. Gas getting expensive as a mug. I appreciate y'all driving out this way, come support all the San Antonio fighters. I want to thank Greg for putting me on this card, giving me an opportunity in front of my crowd, San Antonio. This fight is going to go exactly how I want it to go. I already know what I need to do, my game plan, and I'm just going to make it a little easy out there. March 12th, I squeeze the juice. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the Pretty Boy, Jesse Azondo. Thank you, Jesse. He's going to squeeze the juice. For those who don't know, OJ, they call him the juice. So with that being said, I'd like to bring up his opponent, also undefeated, 2-0. Trains at the TMB boxing gym. See this guy put in work. Very dedicated to the sport of boxing. I'm excited to see how he performs March 12th. Fernando, big shout out Fernando Trujillo up there. He's been putting in work with the guys. That being said, I'd like to bring up undefeated OJ the Juice Harwell.
Real quick, just thank you to everybody for coming out. Really appreciate all the turnout. Myself, along with a lot of the fighters up here, work really hard, day in and day out to put on the show, which you'll see March 12th. I wanted to come in a little lighter, but things didn't work out the way I wanted to, so we ended up going a little heavier. But come March 12th, you're gonna see what the juice is about. He'll find out. March 12th, get your tickets.
One more time for the juice, OJ Harwell. Thanks all for the meeting and attendance, gentlemen. This fight is scheduled for 4 rounds. Set to take place in super middleweight division of 100. I'm gonna thank you first. Say something. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Azondo versus OJ Harwell. Give it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Azondo versus Harwell. Going down this Saturday night, March 12th, in the Scottish Right Devil.
Fucking rig, bro. Fucking rig's an idiot.
All right, going into the next fight. Please be safe on your way out. And once again, thank you for supporting world-class boxing in San Antonio, Texas. All fighters to the front of the stage for a final group photo.
What are we doing?
Let's get up here. I don't
I say we as a family collectively, as proud of him as we are, you know, there's always an inherent risk with it. He knows I'm a boxing fan. I've been watching boxing since I was, you know, a young kid. So I'm really a big fan of boxing, but to watch my boy get in there and mix it up, it's a little different. It is a little different. You worry about him. It's a little different watching that. But I'm still a fan of it. Yeah.
Every time he steps foot in that ring, my stomach falls to the ground. Just like I mentioned, it's, you know, boxing is a rigorous sport. You know, even without any health conditions, there's risk, and I mean, to be quite honest, you know, people die from boxing. You know, just one bad blow will take someone out. So even without having his health issues, you know, boxing is a dangerous sport. But, you know, we leave it all in his hands. And like I mentioned, OJ has surpassed goals that, you know, they told him he would never be able to do. So I just leave it at that and just know that him going in there is a risk, but something that he's passionate about. So as a mother, I'm going to stand behind him 110%.
I honestly do my best to try and not think about the risks that happen, just because I know it'll scare me even more. But one thing that kind of helps with that not a lot of people may know, that I'm sharing now, is that every morning before I wake up, I do pray over my brother, and that even before he goes in the ring, I'll do a short little prayer for him, just for protection, because I think that's one of the things that all of us are scared of, just knowing that he does have his condition, but that doesn't limit what he can do. It's more so that he's more at risk than the other fighters.
Because, you know, boxing, you know, when they get in there, you know, head injury, stuff like that. So, like, yeah, a little bit. You know, getting hit in the ring, that can cause a little bit of damage. So, yeah.
Boxing is, it can be a dangerous sport.
I know boxing has to do a lot with your lungs and stamina, and after the first fight, I mean, I didn't think nothing of it. He looked good out there, and honestly, I don't really see any risk. Honestly, it's a good feeling. Again, growing up, OJ was like a father figure in my life. As a young teenager, I used to do stuff that young teenagers do or whatever. I'll give you an example. I was in middle school and I was buying something that I shouldn't have been bought, and dude who was gonna sell me some stuff figured out who my brother was, and basically told me like, nah man, no more for you, like OJ's your brother, blah blah blah. And so like I said, it's a good feeling to see from where he came from and how far he's gotten. It's a really good feeling. Honestly, it's what is expected, all the work he puts in. He puts in a lot of work. He's at the gym nonstop. I'll call him 3 or 4 times a day and he won't return my calls, but I mean, I know he's at the gym. He'll call me maybe 8 or 9, like my bad, I was at the gym, but so I know he puts in a lot of work and I like to see his hard work pay off.
I'll call him once in a while and we'll have the conversation. And I think initially I didn't know where to, I don't want to give advice. I'm not a professional fighter, know how to fight, but I'm not a professional fighter. I can only give you so much advice. So when I started weighing in and asking questions, I think he kind of, as he started answering questions the way that, like, to me, it kind of, okay, I can see he's taking it seriously. And to me, that was the biggest deal. Like, okay, you're preparing yourself as much as you possibly can to get in here. You're not just saying, I'm a boxer and I'm gonna step in here and just be a boxer. No, you're actually doing the work to get in there and do what you need to do to take your opponent out. So, yeah, it's nerve-wracking though to watch your boy get hit. It's not fun to watch that part of it, but take the good with the bad. I would like to see him reach the goal that he has set for himself. It's not my walk, it's his walk, and as long as he's happy with it and he's good with the product he's putting out, he's true to himself with it, and he's being smart about it, I'm all for it. I've got his back 100%. He knows that. We all do. And,
Yeah.
he knows that.
Spend it all here. Remember, the more you sweat here, the less you're gonna bleed there. Breathe. Control it. Envision it. Envision it. You see him coming out. There he comes. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You ready?
Hey, Honcho, look. Hey, I got a habit of saving ungrateful niggas, had to regain all my inner peace. Now let's not act like I ain't take care of you niggas. Shit, it's time that I took care of me. Look, pressure. Heard a lot, but I ain't see it. Last week I took a trip to Colorado just to ski. Honcho, now they wanna be it. All my features undefeated. Made your big homie delete it, nigga.
Batman pull up. Batman forward. Batman pull up. Batman forward. Batman pull up. Batman pull up.
Hey, Batman pull up. Hey, I hear my loyalty in question. Oh my damn, I think I need to roll another. House building every day, we swim deeper to make a wave. Promise my niggas we ain't going under.
Batman pull up.
I'm a captain on my ship and they switching so they can swap decks. Money Joel height and I ain't switching on the process. Say you gotta go. I ain't tripping, my nigga, I'm blessed. We gon' get it regardless. Liquor stain in the carpet. Competing with you niggas not an option. You harmless. Might call up talking field and they ain't never been a starter. Please drop something harder, nigga.
Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Hey. Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Hey. Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Hey. Bad man pull up. Hey. Bad man pull up. Hey.